Welcome to the Family Map Family Partnership Agreement training. The Family Partnership Agreement is where you can document the resources and referrals you offer a family and make notes about that family. During this training, we're going to talk specifically about the Family Partnership Agreement, how it connects to the Family Map, listen to a teacher and parent set a goal, and then see how the Family Partnership Agreement would be completed based on that conversation. I want to quickly remind you that the Family Partnership Agreement is discussed in Unit 1 of your Family Map Manual. After this training, you can reference your manual for more questions or contact the Family Map staff, who is available to address any questions or concerns you may have. Let's get started. Here is an example of a family map with a Family Partnership Agreement. When you have your family map opened like a book, like we see here, the Family Partnership Agreement is on the left and the Family Map questions on the right. Each page of Family Map questions has its very own Family Partnership Agreement on the left. The very first page of demographic questions is the only page in the Family Map that does not have a Family Partnership Agreement on the left. The Family Partnership Agreement is directly connected to the Family Map questions on each page. It provides a list of the potential talking points for each question set and provides a space for the family's strengths, concerns, and referrals given, and goals that you've agreed upon to be documented. This keeps all the information in one tool. Let's look at a family map and family partnership agreement again to see how it all fits together. Here we see self-support section 1. The first questions are about other languages spoken in the home. Under that question set, we see a gray box that says, if any response in the shaded area, consider English as a second language as a goal. English as a second language is written in bold. Throughout the family map, in each gray box, the topic to be considered as a goal will be bolded. The bolded topics in the gray boxes are the topics listed on the Family Partnership Agreement. We see English as a second language listed first on the Family Partnership Agreement here. Under question S5, education is listed to be considered as a goal, and it's also listed on the Family Partnership Agreement in bold. Each Family Partnership Agreement page specifically matches up with the Family Map questions page on the right. The topics listed in bold on the Family Partnership Agreement match the Family Map questions on the right. On the Family Partnership Agreement, the topics that aren't bolded, such as citizenship, means there's not a question on the family map specific to that topic. However, it's a topic you could possibly talk with the family about based on the other questions asked. To use the Family Partnership Agreement correctly, it will be important to know where to document all the information. The Family Partnership Agreement could be split into two separate sections. Here we see the top section. In this top section, you would document your family strengths, topics to consider action, and referrals. Family strengths are those things that are going well for the family. We know that all families have strengths, and I encourage you to pick one or two with each family and document those on the Family Partnership Agreement and talk with the family about how those things really benefit their family and their child. You can also note topics you're concerned about and want to have more conversation with the caregiver at a later time by marking Consider Action. This is a way to remind yourself that you are concerned about what was going on, and you need to go back to talk with the family and get more information. This is also where you would document the referrals that you give. There is a space to write in a description of the strength, topic to consider action, or referral given, along with important dates. Make sure you're marking notes for everything you do with families. We know that you do a lot, and we want to make sure that you get credit for all the hard work you put in. Here is an example of a strength. We see the child stayed with 3 different people in the past month, which is in the shaded area. However, after more conversation with this child's caregiver, we learned it's always the same 3 people and they have a set weekly routine. While staying with 3 different people each week may not be ideal, it's always the same each week. It's the same 3 people and they have a routine they stick to. The consistency allows the child to know what to expect and to feel comfortable with what's going on. Here's an example of Consider Action. It appears this child does not have good daily routines. The interviewer wants to come back and talk to the caregiver about inconsistent routines at some point, but isn't going to address that in conversation right now. The interviewer felt like something else was more important to discuss at this time, but they didn't want to forget about this altogether. The interviewer marked consider action and noted inconsistent routines with the date they did the interview. Here is an example of a referral. This family is struggling to find stable housing and would like help. The caregiver said they've moved twice in the past year, they have plans to move within the next year, and that they previously lived with family or friends. We see the interviewer marked referral, documented where the referral was to, and dated when she gave the referral. Depending on your agency, you may need to document more information. The second half of the Family Partnership Agreement is at the bottom and is where you document goals. There is a space to write in what the goal is, what steps the family is going to take to accomplish the goal, what steps the program is going to take to support the family, important dates, and space is provided for 3 follow-ups with the family. In the follow-up area, you will document how the family is progressing towards the goal. Here is one page of a completed family map. We see from this page that the caregiver is not enrolled in school, and their highest level of education is 9th grade. During the interview, this caregiver expressed interest in getting a GED. Once the family map was complete, the interviewer went back to discuss with the caregiver their interest level in getting a GED. The caregiver may have just wanted more information on getting a GED. In that case, the interviewer would mark referral, what referral she gave the caregiver, and the date the referral was given. Or, the caregiver may have wanted to set a goal on getting their GED. The interviewer would then have more conversation with the caregiver to decide when, where, and how they could partner to accomplish this goal. The interviewer would then write in the goal. They would write in what steps the parent is going to take to accomplish the goal, what steps the interviewer is going to take to support the caregiver, and the important dates. Notice the follow-up areas are left blank. These will be throughout the year filled in with how the parent is accomplishing or what barriers the parent is coming up against in completing this goal. In this case, the interviewer would also want to mark referral because that was part of the steps that she was going to take to support the mom. So when you write a goal, you could have a goal and a referral or just a goal. Choosing a goal can be difficult. As you begin talking with caregivers, start with a strength. Let them know that you notice good things going on in their family as well. As you're going through the family map, try to note things you think are important to talk more about with the caregiver. Then, as you're talking with the caregiver, you can have in mind important topics to see if the parent would be interested in your support. Once you and the caregiver have agreed on a goal topic, your next step will be to set a SMART goal. After you and the caregiver have decided on a goal topic, the next step is to talk about exactly what the goal is and how it will be completed. When doing this, think about making a SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely. Be specific about who is doing what, when, and where. Make it measurable so that you and the caregiver can determine when progress is made and exactly when the goal is completed. Talk about strategies to use and tasks to be completed. Work with families to set realistic goals, something that's achievable and practical for the family at that time. It's also important to put a timeline on a goal. A timeline can help everyone stay focused to get the goal completed. This is a goal I have seen several times as I've looked through family maps out in the field. Child will eat healthier. This is a good goal. However, we don't know how or when this goal will get accomplished. Here's the same goal written as a SMART goal. Parent will buy and prepare a variety of fruits and vegetables for the child to eat or try one fruit and one vegetable every day at home for 1 month. It's specific to who is doing what, when, and where. It's measurable, one fruit, one vegetable every day. It's action-oriented. The parent's going to buy it and prepare the fruits and vegetables. And it has a timeline for 1 month. On the family partnership agreement, the goal may not be written out this way. Parts of this goal may be written into the parent steps. Dates would be given to the start date and end date to give the goal a good concrete timeline. There would be more to it. You as a practitioner would put in what you're going to do to help support this parent. What is important though is to remember the different parts of SMART and what it stands for, and incorporating those parts into the goal when working with caregivers. Next, we're going to hear a teacher and a parent as they wrap up their Family Map interview and discuss goal setting and referrals. Then we will look at how you would complete the Family Map partnership agreement based on their conversation.
We are done with Family Map now.
That was a lot of questions.
It is, and I want to point out something I noticed during our conversation. It seems like you have good social support. You said your parents help you with Rayleigh, and you have a good group of friends.
Yes, my friends and my family are great. They're always there to help me when I need it.
Is that something not everyone has? I'm going to mark that as a strength for you and Rayleigh.
Oh, okay. They are really great.
Also, from our conversation earlier, it sounded like you were interested in getting your GED.
Yeah, I have been thinking about it some lately. My friend Maria I told you about is working on getting hers. She says the classes aren't that hard.
Is that something you would like support from me?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, let's talk about it for a second. What do you know about getting your GED?
That Maria's getting hers at the community college. She goes there 2 times a week to the class, and she's doing good. She thinks she'll have her GED soon. She said we could get better jobs if we had our GED, or I could go to college and get a degree.
Yeah, with your GED, you probably would get a better job or get a college degree. Would the classes at the community college be a good option for you?
Yeah, she says she likes it, so I probably would too.
Is the community college easy for you to get to?
It's kind of far away. That might be a lot of gas money. I don't know where else I would go, though.
There are other options here in town. I could get you more information about those. Would you be interested?
Yeah, if I didn't have to drive so far, that would be better.
How much time do you think you have to commit to getting your GED?
Well, how much time do I need?
It's different for everyone. You would have to talk to an advisor about a schedule. Do you know what times you would have free to go to class?
No, I work till 2 every day, and I have to pick up Rayleigh by 3, so I usually pick him up on my way home from work. Then we either go home to my parents' house or one of my friends' houses. I don't know when I would go.
If there were classes at night and you could find someone to leave Rayleigh with for an hour or two, would that work for you?
I might be able to leave him at daycare, but I think there is an extra fee.
Yeah, that can be expensive. I think it would be a good idea to look into what that might cost. Do you think your parents or a friend you mentioned earlier would watch Rayleigh once or twice a week while you go to class?
My parents might. They were upset when I dropped out of high school anyways. They would probably be happy if I was going back.
It sounds like they would be happy. How about we make a plan to try to find out our options? I will find you information on other GED classes that are located closer to your home than the community college and the hours they are open to give to you. If you will talk to your parents to see if they would be willing to watch Rayleigh for a few hours each week, and then what days would be best for them while you attend the GED class.
Okay.
I'll give you the information I find. Then you can decide on which option is best for you. You will probably need to call or go by these places to find out what all you will need to begin classes. This way you will know what all your options are, and you can make the best decision for you and Rayleigh.
I can do that.
When do you think we can have this completed?
I can talk to my parents the next time I see them, probably next week.
Okay, I'll get you this information together and give you next week too. This is the first step in getting your GED. I can also help you as you continue the process. This will get us started.
I'm excited about this.
I'm going to write down all this so we don't forget. You're going to talk to your parents about watching Rayleigh. I'm going to get you information on locations around the town for you to contact to see which is the best option and what we need to get enrolled. Does that sound like what we talked about?
Yes, that sounds right.
Do you have a time for when you'd like to have your GED by?
No, I don't know how long it will take. Maybe next year?
Okay, I'll write down a year as our finish date. But if it takes longer than a year, that's okay.
Okay.
This could be a very big decision for you and Rayleigh, and we can work on this together. I wanted to talk to you about one more thing before I go. It also sounded like sometimes at the end of the month, your family might benefit from extra support for groceries.
Yeah, I guess. It does seem like sometimes that can be hard for us. It's hard for me to believe, though, that I don't have enough food for me and my child, but it does happen.
So just as information for you to have, I could get you the information about food banks in the community for when things get tight.
Okay, it might be nice to have that information.
I'll work to have all this information ready for you by next week, too. Thank you again for your time and letting me come to your house.
You're welcome.
Based off the interview we just heard, we would complete the Family Map Family Partnership Agreement like this. On the Family Partnership Agreement in Section 1, we would write in what the goal is, for the mom to obtain her GED within a year. We would write in what steps everyone has agreed to take to get started, and we would write in what the start date is and expected completion date. Notice that the goal is specific and measurable. We talk about who's doing what, where, when. Each person has been given specific tasks to complete. It seems to be realistic for this mom at this time. And by giving the goal an expected completion date and talking to her about when she thinks she can complete each task, we've given the goal a timeline. The information the teacher gives the mom about the GED locations would be considered a referral. That would need to be documented by education by filling in the referral bubble, documenting that it's GED locations that were given, and initialing the date. You would also want to make sure that you're noting any follow-up conversations with the parent. Here the mom has talked to her parents and they have agreed to keep Riley while she's in class. That will be documented in the development section. Try to recognize any progress the parent makes or steps completed and be encouraging. Here the teacher could have said something like, "That's great. One less thing for you to have to worry about. You know Riley will be taken care of while you're in class." That lets the mom know you recognize what she's done and encourages her to continue working towards her goal. The last thing to note is that these are just the beginning steps of this mom getting her GED. As the mom completes these steps, the teacher will need to continue talking about what the next steps will be for the mom. The teacher also said she would give the parent information on local food banks. When she provides this information, she will need to record it on the Family Map Partnership Agreement in Section 9. She will mark referral by food assistance and document that she gave local food bank locations. The Family Map Family Partnership Agreement is a document that can be updated regularly. Be sure you're taking credit for all the work you do with your families and document it. The conversation we just heard was one example, and this conversation could have gone in many directions. There are many ways to talk with parents, and we never know the outcome ahead of time. The Family Map should help you know which direction to lead the conversation, and the Family Partnership Agreement is there to help you document all the work you do with families. It keeps all the information together and organized. If you do not understand any part of this process, please contact the Family Map staff. We want to thank you for signing on to the webinar today. You will need to complete the post test to receive credit for this webinar. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact the Family Map staff at any time.